There was a one Archaladon in Top Cut, and yeah, pretty normal build here, I would say overall. I guess the thing to note is like the stadiums here. There's no Pokestop, and they're not heavy on the jamming towers.
Yeah.
It's a split of the jamming tower and the artisan here.
Artisan's super nice to find. Honestly, it's hard finding basics in this deck sometimes. So Artisan is kind of nice. Finds Duraludon. Even finding stuff like Iron Bundle and Relicanth is kind of cool as well. So it has like a little bit more late game power for those two. Because once you establish your Duraludons, they're either all in play or all in your discard pile. So Nitriture is the only out. So it does have some late game functionality as well to get either of those cards. And yeah, only one jamming. So not super teched out for the Gardevoir matchup, but you also have Dialga in there as well. It's not like it's just like a straight Archaludon EX build. So you still have like some ways back into that matchup as well. But yeah, nothing too crazy. But yeah, not the turbo build with the stops.
We talked about Vinny's deck. There were a pair of Snorlax in Top Cuts.
This was actually definitely a surprise to me. Like I rated what Snorlax as like a D tier deck going to the tournament. I didn't think it was that good of a play. I'm still not sold on it being like a ridiculously good play. Stall's always kind of fine for the most part. Um, You always have the out of matchup roulette, which I feel like this deck has more than other decks in most formats. But yeah, there's a couple of them here, and they were there was definitely one was way more tech than the other one for sure. And this is Roan's build, and this deck has got the Diancie, it's got a 1/1 melodic, you got the Mawile in here, whereas the other
Enriching
builds
energy.
yeah, gotta have the enriching energy. Can't forget the enriching energy. And I believe the build from Daniel was literally just 2 Mimikyu, 2 Rotom, 4 Snorlax.
Nope.
Oh, no, that was a different build, I guess. It was just 1 Rotom, 1 Ogerpon, 4 Snorlax, and it still had the box orders. Okay, I looked at a different list earlier then. That was like a 2-2-2. But this is pretty standard from what we've come to expect, I think, from boxed orders. Also played 3 Temple of Sinnoh, so was playing to beat the Lugia matchup.
Yeah, dude, Snorlax players just cannot give up on the Lugia matchup. They're like, I've got to, like, they just feel like they've got a chance, you know.
Something changed where it's like become better. I mean,
I mean, you can
not
just
really,
spam
right?
some flutes. Maybe you get a couple of lums in play. You stick the legacy somewhere, right? Like,
Playing the secret box as well, so you can more aggressively find the Temple of Sinnoh. That's like
you
what
know,
me and my group did at Worlds, is we played secret box with Sinnohs. Still a bad matchup, I think, though. So in testing, it was still unfavorable. But yeah, I mean, you can make it work technically, right? I mean, you can
yeah,
win technically. It's just like still a bad matchup.
yeah. Daniel definitely. Is he a front? He's one of the two front runners for sure for like rookie of the year. I would say it's either him or it's Giovanni Sasso, right? It's like
Yeah,
Daniel's got doesn't have a
Daniel's.
dub, but Giovanni has a dub. But Daniel has two top cuts at internationals. Giovanni has
Yeah, I think
zero, right?
I
So
honestly think we maybe give Daniel the edge. Double international top cut so far. Like even though there's not a dub, that's still pretty big.
yeah.
We'll see. I'm sure they'll both be at NAIC. So we'll see how they do there. There's still a lot of season left to play as well. Yeah, click on the stall build right there from Leon. Is that the one? The one with
Yeah, yeah.
let's go 2-2-2-2-2 or 4-2-2-2 and then the one Pidgeot. Yeah, this was the one that I looked at. Um
Has the
yep.
hero's cape in here for the A spec.
Ooh, it's got the mists as well. Yeah, I got the hero's cape. Yeah, I don't know. Stall is I don't know. The biggest thing I guess it comes down to Stall is really the Dragon Ball matchup, right? That's like the biggest question mark for me. But like my impression of that matchup is that it is pretty close, and Dragon Ball definitely edges you out in top cut, just based on the top cut rules.
And as we go down through the rest of top 32, there's some things I would say in here that most people weren't really expecting. One of them being Grant Manley's Lost Box deck. And this is pretty different from what we saw from Lost Box from the like Hedrick build from the was it Puerto Rico special event or it was Merida, right?
Merida, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That one had like Pokestops, heavy vacuums and stuff. This one is a like slower build. It feels like he's got jet energies in here.
artisans.
Artisans is the big thing, right? Has the Reggie Gigas. And Grant was kind of getting clowned on Twitter for this deck. I don't
Yeah,
know if you saw.
yeah. Before the tournament, Grant told me he thought Lost Box was favored against Dragapult. Now I don't think that's true. I think Dragapult is favored against Lost Box, but I told him I was like, now I'm not like overly tested in the match or anything, but I told him if you think it's favored, you play Lost Box because Lost Box is favored against like pretty much everything else in the format. Besides maybe a Gardevoir that plays Manaphy, but no Gardevoir's playing Manaphy right now for the most part. So besides that, Like, there's no reason not to play Lost Box. You play Lost Box if you think it's actually fair against Dragapult. Um, I didn't know what his build looked like though, and this is definitely different than what I thought he would have been playing. I thought he would have been playing something a little bit more standard. But yeah, it is in his words a little bit more anti Badoo of a build, right? You have artisans to help you find basics. Jet energy gives you more pivots to work with, and then besides that, you have like the normal range of attackers: Pikachu, Iron Hands, Ursaluna, Sableye, Cram, Greninja, and then the new attacker, the Regigigas, in there as well as another option up against those big Terra Pokemon, the Charizards and the Dragapults. Um, and Grant actually did tie the win in against Oscar
Yeah.
Madsen with the Dragapult Charizard deck. They ended up tying the win in. So that's kind of unfortunate. We could have seen a 9-player cut there, would have had one asymmetrical play in round, but
And there was also
yeah.
a chance that, all these, like, X1-2s made it in
Yeah.
if the stream match, which was Simone and, Sebastian, if they had tied, which they almost did, there was, like, a small chance,
Not
but
really. Sebastian was pretty
Sebastian kinda
cooked.
got cooked, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I wonder what game 1 looked like. Game 2 was, like, not close. Well, I tuned in, like, towards the end of it. Like, game 2 was, like, not close at all. And generally, that matchup feels favored for Gardevoir, but it did not seem like Sebastian drew very well in the early
Yeah.
game at all. It did have a technical line. I think Sebastian was looking for, like, boss off of the final refinement there and didn't even hit it, so didn't even have an out to like, force, Simone to have the response, so we didn't really get to see that come to fruition, and then we
I
could have
think
seen a tie.
Yeah, I think Grant said that he in the last round he tied Oscar by flower selecting into Regigigas plus Prime Catcher,
Yeah.
and that was what did him in.
Although I'm not knowing Grant, I'm not sure if that actually was, like, for sure how the if that's the only reason it would have been a tie, or would have maybe been a tie
Well, I
anyways.
mean, that was in game one, so I mean,
Oh
and
gosh.
that was in game one,
Sure.
and then he won. Grant did win game two, so
Yeah. I mean, maybe he just wins game 1 and then gets 2-0'd from there, though, who knows at that point.
yeah, yeah, it's all different. But yeah, I mean, there's some interesting cards here. There's a Crispin.
Which I'm
Um,
pretty sure he said is bad.
yeah. Yeah, he even said here, "Would you make any changes?" He said to cut useless Roxanne and maybe dog water Crispin for Poffin. Man, he just like really sticks to his brand. And the thing is
Yeah.
like it's him. It's real. It's not like a bit. Hitting Pidgeot control was kind of unlucky. Weird. I didn't face any of the top three most popular decks.
Yeah, he didn't hit any pulse, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
be curious, how he still feels about that matchup, but
yeah. Played no Polts, no
Gardevoir.
Gardevoirs, and no Archaludons.
Yeah, that is actually an interesting outcome there for sure. A lot of golden goes, some lugs.
And then as we keep going down here, I mean, there's a few more cloth in
Yeah,
top 32.
honestly, pretty good showing. We talked about, like, kind of the poor performances from Gardevoir and Miraidon, but Cloth had a pretty good showing overall, I would say for sure.
Then there was a couple of Reggie Drago in top 32 as well.
I'm not sure. Double canceling cologne, 2 of them. Wait, what are we shutting
Whoa.
off? Is there, like, something extra we are going after
Nope.
here?
Snorlax, buddy.
We were already fine against all. There's gotta be something else we're looking at here. 2 cologne?
Yeah,
What is it?
that's a little interesting. I don't know.
There's gotta be something we're missing here. Maybe they had the read on stall. Maybe they did have the read on stall. Is that possible?
Cornerstone Mask also stall.
Is there something in Dragapult that you wanted
Not
for?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, they
This
took
list
they
they
stole
took
his
yeah,
cologne.
they took the cologne out
Oh.
of this guy's deck. Yep, that's
Yeah.
what it
During
is.
deck check, they got switched around and so one of them ended up with 2 cologne.
uh, this
Uh,
guy's got Badoo and Cleffa in his deck.
I have the options. Honestly, I don't hate that. It definitely
Yeah.
seems, like, reasonable that there's a decent amount of matches where you'd want one over the other. It does kinda suck
Oh,
to play 2 things like that.
hold up.
So, yeah, I was gonna say the rain Alakazam in here, a little damage fixing.
It's pretty interesting.
Only canceling clone if we got that.
No Gudra or anything like that. It's just which I guess like
Yeah.
it loses value whenever the mirror isn't a thing to worry about, right?
Yeah, I do really kind of wonder how good because I played 0 games of Dragapult this format, but do obviously sounds pretty annoying, but, like, I wonder how good Dragapult actually is right now, or
You mean
Regidrago, excuse me.
Reggie Drago? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Regidrago. I wonder how good Regidrago actually is right now.
And then yeah, there's a couple Charizards, a couple Miraidons. One of these Charizard lists I looked at earlier. Who was it? Someone had a kind of everyone's kind of got their own ways to like be ready for Badu, right?
See,
There's
this
Jack.
list
Jack.
specifically looks like anti-Badoo. They just go second and then item lock you, and you're playing Trolley. You just lose. You can't find basic Pokemon.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's got the stage 1 Pokemon in here, like, the
no TM
Pidgeotto, the
Evo.
2 Charmeleon, but yeah, no TM Evo.
They're literally letting Badoo have their way with them until they set up, and then they get to get access to items again, but it seems like
Whose
it's gonna be a little
list
bit
was
too
it?
late.
Arnie has the double turbo. I feel like I saw one list that had
Yeah,
darkness
Arnie
energy in
had the
it.
great Arnie also had the great I think I saw that too, actually, now that you mention it. Yeah, Arnie had the grand tree, double 4 seal stone, gotta find that tree. So Arnie was packing the cards for the Badoo match. Only 1 Charmeleon, though.
Yeah, one Charmeleon. Was it this list maybe? No. Let me go here
Monkey Dory,
to
Dark Energy. Does everyone just play Monkey Dory and Dark Energy and everything now?
yeah, someone had it was Pertusi and Azevedo's build.
Mm.
That's why, yeah. So this is interesting. I mean, this is one of the things with these big ICs that's always interesting to look at because I think a lot of people wouldn't take time to scroll down on Limitless and look at the, top 128, top
Yeah.
256 decks. But William and Pedro are two of the best players in the world. So it's always interesting to see what these players bring to the tournament, even if they don't end up having super good runs. What did they deem to be like a good play, quote unquote, right? And yeah, they've got the Max Belt Zard, 2 TM Evo, and the Monkey Dory with the basic darkness energy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of William and Pedro, but at some point you gotta put the Charizard down, bro. Yeah, huge fan. Honestly, if they wanna keep doing it, go for it, but yeah, obviously, I'm a big fan of those 2 players. I'm just kinda, having fun. And they had 2 Team Evo in here as well, 2 Team Evo and the maximum belt. But yeah, at a certain point, you just gotta put the Charizard down. At a certain point, the Charizard's cooked. I think it's now.
We're definitely getting there. We're getting there for sure. Also, like,
Also,
what's
we're
up
about to have
with
a reset with rotation, so he's maybe back. Charizard's back.
so they were playing, they couldn't agree on what like the optimal hoot hoot was at LAIC, right? They all had different hoot hoots.
Yeah.
But this time they all agreed on the bad Pidgeotto. Why are we not playing the Pidgeotto that has free retreat on the card?
Has 10 less HP, right?
I don't even think so. I think it still has
I think it's
90.
80. No, I think it is 80. Maybe the attack is that much worse too. Gotta investigate here real fast.
It does have 80. Okay.
Oh, we can attack for 1 energy. Get that
I
flat.
mean, the free
The Guardian
retreat does
the Guardian
80
matchup.
HP. Okay. Against Dragapult, they can move 20 with Alakazam plus KO
Oh,
it. That might be it.
that's
Is that
true.
enough? Is that enough?
That seems fair. That seems fair.
Yeah.
You can still
To
like
add one.
Charizard 1 energy to the active, 2 to the Charizard to move it out of the active as well, even though it's got that 1 retreat cost.
Yeah.
I don't know how likely that is to come up. They have to have already established damage. Oh, I guess if they Badoo twice and they move off the 2 Badoo damage. That literally is maybe the reason, though. They gotta Badoo 3 times if they wanna try and lock you up.
Yeah. Maybe that comes up more often than the free retreat bonus of the other one does. But
Yeah, I can see it.